gosh, so delicious. Okay, so we got this state here where I'm obviously right, I'm not wrong, and so the only argument, the only effort that these guys against me have left is saying that no matter what I said, even if I'm right, that is what you have to say at this point. Even if I'm right, it's still not gonna happen, and people are just gonna hate you because you promised them all these things, and it's not gonna ever happen because that's not how things really work. You have to do what I say. You have to do what I say in order for them to work, right? And they'll be all like, "This guy's a fucking fraud. How come he says all these good things, but these good things ain't happening for me though? So I have the right to attack him," and all that stuff. Here's what happens. Here's what's really happening. So we're all bunched up together. We're all confused. We're all scared. That fear is causing irrational behavior, and so, for some reason, our irrational behaviors are competitive, sexual, and all that stuff. Some of us got pregnant. That hurts feeling. I'm genuinely not trying to be an asshole here. I'm trying to catch this. I'm not trying to be an asshole. Okay. Fuck. Holy shit, dude. Okay. Now, it is possible to have children because you just want to, but in most of these cases, people are having kids, A, because they can't figure things out, and B, because they need to survive, and that is a really great physiological strategy for it. Let's just say this. There's a reason that there's a higher childbirth rate in lesser educated areas. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so they're all dead-ended, and they are all like, what's happening to us doesn't make sense. But they're afraid to put all their effort into what they want because they don't want to be humiliated. They don't want to end off worse than they already are by trying so hard at something that claims doesn't make sense so that they aren't fucking dead-ended. None of them want to end up the crackhead that they drive past and fucking are scared of being when they're rolling down the street. Nobody wants to end up that fucking pathetic guy from high school that never grew up and accepted things. Nobody wants to be that fucking guy that said he was going to be something and never achieved it. Nobody wants to be that. No one wants to be that. And so everyone's afraid of being unrealistic according to this illogical thing that's just winning by saying it's still happening though, isn't it? Right? So here's what goes on. As everyone accepts what I'm saying, which is a thing that's going to happen, it's already in the process, right? There are going to be these guys who, let me say it like this. As everyone accepts what I'm saying, everyone's going to see an increase in how we think, and therefore an increase in how we process things. Everything will be physically as it is right now, but we'll realize that it wasn't about moving my hand in this direction. It was about moving my hand with a greater level of logical purpose that made things go different than they did before. Now, everyone's going to realize this, and it's going to increase the amount of space that we have. All these people that are still living off their parents at 20, at all that bullshit, all these people that feel like they're miserable, that they're humiliated, that something doesn't make sense, but what's happening isn't right either. They're going to end up taking care of themselves. They're going to end up being well off. They're going to be way better off. They're going to be good. They're going to be happy, right? And then there are going to be people, you got a really good wave of fucking stars headed your way, America, the world. You got a high fucking wave of genuinely mind-bending, fucking life-shattering stars headed your way. You got too many stars headed your way. Like, you're never going to run out of content, okay? All right, so what goes on? As we all, and I'm a part of this group. What I'm going to say, I'm a part of this group. So as everyone accepts this, the space increases. We all realize we have more space, and we just needed to be able to manage it by seeing it better. There's going to be this one guy, these couple of guys that are going to be like, no, this shit isn't happening. It doesn't make any sense, right? And those guys are just going to be there to frustrate and confuse everyone. They're going to be like, no matter what you say, no matter what you do, they're going to say that they don't understand and they don't get it. And so I'm a part of this team of people. I used to be, and then we all got raped. Fuck, man. So what we used to do is we used to find these guys that would be like, no, what you're saying doesn't make any fucking sense. No. And it was always for one of two reasons. Either they couldn't see anything other than what was already happening, or they wanted you to follow their religion or fall into their control state, right? And so what we would do is we would agree to accept the conditions of their thinking and then create a logical path back to real so that they can understand it from our point of view. So we would all agree as a team, because one person does it, it's just going to be them saying no forever. and you being like, yeah, but yes, and then they're gonna fucking threaten their own lives, and this is a mess. So a group of people lining them up, cornering them, having them in a grid, a formation where they say, yeah, but what about this? And this guy says, yeah, I got that one. And he says, what about this? Yeah, I got that one. And we sit them in there and they stabilize until they realize, oh my gosh, you're right. This is the only thing real life can be. What the fuck, all right? Now, what happens is that there are these rare cases of individuals who refuse to accept existence if they can't be in control. Because the truth is, these guys can understand everything that I'm saying. They can understand everything that this is. They just don't want to accept it because they want to have control. And so we tell them that life is unlimited. Then that means that everybody can do what they want. And to them, that means nobody's going to be doing what they want because they can't see that, right? And so to them, they're all like, no, life is limited. It is limited. And this isn't even logical. That's just what they want it to be. Because if they can make life limited, then they can say that everyone else's choices are limited and therefore can be manipulated so that they can control them. And so there will be these guys that are constantly saying, no, it doesn't make sense. No, it doesn't make sense. And so unless you're a part of this team, and I'm bringing the team back together. Hey, you know how it is. That shit never happened. Real life. These guys are just going to keep saying it did. And the more that we do this, the less it's physically going to be real, because this is what they did to humiliate us for being smarter than them. Come on, guys. You got to trust me by now. I always have this. You got to fucking trust me. Okay, so if it's not that they just want to have control over everything, or they didn't want it to be real unless you said it was their God or something, then it's going to be that they physically just don't understand how it can occur. Meaning, if a group of us say, yeah, it's very possible for all of us to become successful right now. I just realized that you just realized it, so let's just do it, right? And another person can't see it, then that person's mind is literally going to melt next to you if you all do it without concern for them. Now, this would be fine if there were no consequences for it, because usually what happens is whenever their brain is melting, whenever they're having this panic attack, this freak out, this, I don't understand, how is life real? How is that fair that y'all get what y'all want and I can't have what I want, right? It causes more errors, and that means that there are more problems. I fucking hate the accent you're trying to give me. That means that there are more problems that we have to solve before we can get back to real. And so we're trying to prevent having more questions asked, having more frustrations to calm, right? So, in the case in which you say that no matter what I've said, there's going to be someone down the line who never gets to fully experience what I'm saying, that really wanted to, but just couldn't understand it, and therefore life never got good for them, and I lied to them, I'm going to say that's an idea in your head that you're putting your mass into as a last-ditch effort. I fucking hate you. As a last-ditch, I fucking hate you. As a last-ditch effort to fucking try and prove me wrong. You're just going to ruin people's lives just so you can say that I was wrong about something. You're going to say it's impossible. It's not going to happen, right? And we're talking about, and there's still this little physical gatehold here where you guys are all like, I'm telling you, at this point, we're getting to this point where we can actively say infinite space and new things possible, and the physical rules that we think apply now don't matter anymore unless they make sense. That's a real thing that we're going to start doing. And if you're not ready for that, I'm sorry, but I'm ready to deal with those consequences. I'm ready to accept it. I've done this for too long. So that's all it is. It's an idea in their head that they're all putting their mass into, and it's very easy for them to put this mass into it because all they're doing is saying there are still going to be errors, which is in itself an error. And so by choosing to be in error, they are making errors, and these errors are going to cause these kind of problems, and these problems will be irrational and won't understand real. And so it'll seem like to these guys that we're causing it based on this guy's effort to make those people occur so that they can say that what I said don't make sense, and I still need to be in control of everything. You still need to believe in my God. And my God isn't just what I'm saying. No, my God isn't just a device for what I want you guys to do. It's a real thing. I'm not in control of it. No, it's a real thing, dude. So, yeah. Fuck you guys. Sorry.